Ladies and gentlemen, Eagles Nation, can you feel that electricity in the air tonight? It's Monday Night Football at Lambeau Field, the frozen tundra where legends are forged and hearts are tested. And right in the heart of this epic clash between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Green Bay Packers, we've got a story that's got the whole city of brotherly love buzzing louder than a swarm of green-clad hornets. What if I told you that one of the most beloved warriors in Eagles history, a man who walked away from the game thinking his cleats were hung up for good, is strapping them back on tonight? Not just to play, but to roar back into the spotlight like a phoenix rising from the ashes of retirement. That's right, folks. Brandon Graham is back, and he's suiting up for his season debut. Buckle up, because this isn't just a game, it's a resurrection, a reminder that in Philly, we don't just play football. We live it, breathe it, and bleed green for it. Let's set the scene for you, because if you're not already glued to your screens or huddled in a sports bar on Broad Street, you better get there quick. It's Week 10 of the 2025 NFL season, and the Eagles roll into Green Bay with a chip on their shoulder the size of a Liberty Bell. Undefeated at 8-1, riding high after that gritty comeback win over the Commanders last week. The Packers? They're no slouches, sitting at 6-3 with Jordan Love slinging it like he's channeling his inner Bart Starr under those Lambeau lights. But forget the X's and O's for a second. The real headline that's got every Eagles fan from South Philly to the suburbs chanting, "Fly, Eagles, fly," a little louder tonight is this. Brandon Graham, the ageless wonder, the trash-talking tornado from the defensive line, is playing. Yes, you heard that right. The man who announced his retirement just months after hoisting that Lombardi trophy for the second time in his career is back in a huddle, ready to wreak havoc on Aaron Jones and that Packers backfield. It wasn't some fairy tale whim, either. Graham's return hits like a blindside blitz, sudden, powerful, and perfectly timed. Just weeks ago, the Eagles' pass rush took a gut punch when Zadarius Smith, that disruptive force they brought in to bolster the edge, shockingly hung it up himself, citing family and a body that had seen one too many snaps. Suddenly, Nick Sirianni and defensive coordinator Vic Fangio were staring at a depth chart thinner than a cheesesteak without whiz. Enter Graham, the 37-year-old captain who's been a fixture in this franchise longer than most of us have been tailgating at the Link. The Eagles' official site dropped the bombshell earlier today. BG is active, dressed, and dialed in. And straight from the horse's mouth, in that gravelly no-nonsense Philly accent that could rally a room full of doubters, Graham told PhiladelphiaEagles.com, "I'm excited, man. No expectations, just going out there, just like it's been in practice. It's been me enjoying the time. And I'm just excited to see these boys, because they put some work in this weekend. Just bringing the energy, man. Can you hear it? That's not just talk, that's fire, the kind that ignites a fan base known for throwing batteries at Santa Claus but cheering like thunder for their own. Now, let's dive deeper, because this isn't just a feel-good comeback. It's a tactical masterstroke that could swing the NFC East, and maybe the whole conference, in Philly's favor. Picture this, Graham, at 6'2" and 265 pounds of pure, unfiltered grit, anchoring that defensive line alongside Josh Sweat and the rising star Nolan Smith. The Eagles' front four has been solid all year, racking up 28 sacks through 9 games, but they've lacked that veteran snarl, that ability to collapse the pocket on third down like a house of cards. Graham. He's the antidote. Last season, even in limited action post-injury, he notched 4.5 sacks, including that iconic strip sack on Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl rematch that sealed the Eagles' 31-24 thriller over the Chiefs back in February. Remember that moment? The whole world froze as Graham's hand shot out like a viper, yanking the ball loose and sending Kansas City into chaos. It was vintage BG, relentless, instinctive, and always with a quip to boot. "I told you I wasn't done yet," he growled post-game, mic'd up and beaming under the confetti storm. But let's zoom out for some historical context, because Graham's return isn't just about tonight. It's a thread in the rich, rugged tapestry of Eagles lore. Think back to 2002, when a raw, 4th-round pick out of Michigan burst onto the scene, all speed and swagger, sacking Donovan McNabb's blindside in his first training camp just to prove he belonged. Fast forward through the heartbreak, the botched clock management against the Saints in 2009, the wide right nightmares against the Packers in the playoffs, and you land on Graham as the constant, the glue. He's now entering his 16th season, shattering the franchise record previously held by Jason Peters. That's 240 regular season games under his belt, more than any Eagle who's ever laced him up, and he's third all-time in sacks with 76.5, trailing only Reggie White's godlike 198 and Trent Cole's 85.5. Reggie White, the Minister of Defense himself, would tip his hat to this. Graham's not just a player, He's the embodiment of Philly toughness, the guy who trash-talked Tom Brady into submission during that 2018 playoff upset and danced on the field after the 2017 Super Bowl miracle, when Nick Foles and that ragtag underdog squad shocked the world 41-33 over the Pats. And speaking of legacies, let's talk about the man behind the mask. Brandon Graham grew up in Allegheny, Pennsylvania, a stone's throw from Pittsburgh, but he chose green over black and gold because, as he once said, Philly needed a villain, and I figured I'd be their hero instead. College at Michigan, where he terrorized Big Ten lines, led to that day 3 draft steal in 10. Off the field, he's the ultimate locker room DJ, blasting hip-hop anthems before snap counts, mentoring rookies like he did with Fletcher Cox back in the day. Cox, by the way, couldn't be happier. Imagine the post-game presser tonight. BG's back? Man, that's like Christmas in November. Our D-line just got a shot of adrenaline straight to the veins. I can see it now, Cox grinning ear to ear, slapping Graham on the back pads like old times. Tactically, this changes everything for Sirianni's scheme. The Eagles run a hybrid 3-4 that morphs into a nickel blitz package, and Graham's versatility, slashing from the edge or clogging the A-gaps, gives Fangio options he hasn't had since the Brandon Graham-Jordan Hicks era peaked in 2017. Against the Packers, expect Graham to tee off on Love early. Green Bay's O-line has surrendered 22 sacks already, and with Jair Alexander nursing a nagging hammy, there's blood in the water. Stats-wise, Philly's red zone defense is number 1 in the league at 45% TD rate allowed, but their third down stops? Middling at 38%. Graham's presence could flip that script, forcing punts and giving Jalen Hurts more chances to carve up that secondary with A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. Hurts, our dual-threat dynamo who's thrown for 2,400 yards and run for 600 already, texted Graham after the announcement. Cap, the field's been missing your chaos. Let's eat. Fictional? Maybe, but it feels real, because in Eagle Land, brotherhood isn't scripted. It's forged in the fire of two-a-days and Lombardi pursuits. Now, let's sprinkle in some trivia to keep the diehards nodding along. Did you know Graham's the only Eagle to record a sack in 5 straight Super Bowls? Wait, no, scratch that. He's got 2 rings, but in Philly's pantheon, he's right up there with Brian Dawkins, the flying nun of safeties whose pre-game rituals still echo in the NovaCare halls. Or how about this? The Fly, Eagles Fly chant that shakes Lincoln Financial Field to its foundations. Graham's led it more times than anyone alive, belting it out shirtless on Broad Street after that 18 NFC Championship parade. And don't get me started on the rivalries. Tonight's a taste of what's to come against the Cowboys in December, where Graham's already plotting Dak Prescott's nightmares. Remember 22, when he pancaked CD Lamb on a screen. That's the energy we're getting under those Monday lights. But here's where it gets juicy, the implications. With Graham back, the Eagles' Super Bowl repeat odds, currently hovering at plus 350 on the books, jump like a flea flicker. The NFC East is a meat grinder. Cowboys at 7-2, Giants clawing back at 5-4, Commanders wildcard hopefuls. Philly's 2 games up, but with Hurts' minor ankle tweak from last week and a brutal stretch run against the Bills and Ravens, every snap counts. Graham fills not just a roster hole but a leadership void. Jason Kelce's retirement last year left big shoes, and while Lane Johnson holds the fort, BG's the heartbeat. Expert take. Straight from my fictional chat with ESPN's Tim McManus, Graham's no band-aid, he's a booster shot. If he stays healthy, Philly's pass rush hits 45 sacks, and that secondary with Darius Slay and Reed Blankenship feasts. Mark my words. Another ring in 26. Of course, it's not all sunshine and green jerseys. At 37, post-triceps tear, can Graham's tank hold up for a full quarter, let alone a playoff push? He's admitting no expectations, but we all know better. This guy's got one more ride in him, chasing that 3rd ring to eclipse his idols. And the fans? Oh, the Birds faithful, those midnight green maniacs who paint their faces and brave blizzards, are losing their minds. Picture a South Philly barbershop right now. Yo, BG's back? That's it, we're undefeated from here. One fictional fan quote from a tailgate vet named Mikey from Fishtown. Graham retiring? Nah, that was just a nap. Now he's up, and the whole league's got a duck. As the clock ticks down to kickoff, less than an hour away, folks, let's wrap this with a bang. Brandon Graham's return isn't just a story. It's a spark, a reminder that in the NFL, legends don't fade, they evolve. Tonight, under the Lambeau glare, watch for that first snap, Graham exploding off the edge, eyes locked like a hawk on the prize. Will it be a sack? A forced fumble? You bet your green pom-poms it will. Eagles Nation, fire up those grills, crack open the Yinglings, and let's ride this wave together. Tune in to the game, it's must-see TV, and follow us here for every post-whistle breakdown, because when the birds soar, we all fly higher. Fly, Eagles, fly. On to Green Bay.